Hello! So, I'm sure many of you today got to wake up to what I got to wake up to, which was this.
We're going to jump in. There's a fire alarm here.
You might have heard it in the background. We're going to find out what the latest is
we'll
here
be right back.
at CNN. We're going to be right back.
Brian Yennis has made his way to the home of Bill and Hillary Clinton. He's Chappaqua, New York, about an hour's drive north of Manhattan. Brian, first report we've heard from you. What are you seeing there?
Hi, Bill. Well, right now there are about a dozen cameras here. There's a news helicopter in the air circling the Chappaqua home of the Clintons. We are in the cul-de-sac here. You know, the Clintons' home is behind me, behind trees. You can't see it. They bought the home next door back in 2016 so that the Secret Service could better protect this property.
The White House just read the Sarah Sanders statement from the White House. Here it is again. We condemn the attempted violent attacks recently made against President Obama, President Clinton, Secretary Clinton, other public figures. These terrorizing acts are despicable, and anyone responsible will be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. The United States Secret Service and other law enforcement agencies are investigating and will take all appropriate actions to protect anyone threatened by these cowards.
So, you know, I try not to be a big conspiracy nut. I like have to check myself all the time. You know, I think Americans, by and large, we like conspiratorial thinking. We like conspiracies. I think that it helps us make sense of the world, you know, of random events. It's part of our culture in a way. I think we kind of thrive on conspiracy theories. And, you know, there was, you know, many conspiracy theories I used to believe in when I was younger that I don't believe in now. And there's plenty of things that I thought were on the up and up that now I think are conspiracies, you know. So I try to be very careful about what I label as a conspiracy theory, what I say about this or that, because I don't want to say the wrong thing and look like a dumbass, you know. I'm not like a Democrat. I actually care if I sound like a complete moron. So I try to, you know, wait sometimes and hold my opinion, you know, and just kind of see how things develop. But this one's not one I can do that on. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you, and I'll just be honest. I think it's a hoax. I think it's a 100% false flag. Those bombs don't look real to me at all. I've been around a lot of bombs and pipe bombs and IEDs and things like that. They don't look real to me. Actual pipe bombs don't have wires going into both ends of it. Actually, what the thing looks like to me is like a dildo covered with electrical tape with some wires on it. And here's another funny thing. They put this little ISIS sticker on there. What the fuck is the point of that if the bomb's going to be blown to bits? The only fucking reason to put that on there is so somebody could photograph it. It's fucking stupid. It's so blatantly, obviously a false flag to me. I'm not saying everybody in CNN or everybody in the Democrat Party is in on it. It's probably a small group of idiots. You know, maybe some of these people aren't even in on it. But I am certain that this is not. What is it? What was it was hashtagging within like fucking 20 minutes of this thing? MAGA bomber, I think it was. MAGA bomber, I think that's the thing. This script was written long ago. This script was written probably weeks ago, if not months ago. You see, the Democrats have tried everything to get rid of Trump. You know, we have to go back in time. What was he's not qualified. He said pussy on a video talking to that Bush guy. That was horrible. None of that shit worked. And then it was the Russia collusion bullshit. And it was he's a racist. And long story short, none of their bullshit works. So now they're getting desperate. I think, you know, they're responsible for this migrant caravan coming up here. Obviously, that's Soros and the rest of those leftist lunatics doing. It's obvious. That's who's doing it. Look at their clothes. Nice clothes. None of them are starving to death. Look at videos. Look at pictures of people from the Holocaust, refugees in 1946 and trying to find a home in Europe and trying to go to Israel and all that. Look at those people and compare them to these so-called refugees. Look at them. They're plump. They're, you know, a lot of them are males, military-age males, strapping lads. You know, probably have pretty good knowledge of the criminal underworld and maybe some ISIS terrorists in there. I mean, these are not. It's not what they say it is. Obviously, you know. And this video is not about that, the caravan. But I really think that the reason why they decided to go this route with this, I'll call it the Dem Bomb Hoax, is because the caravan didn't work. People didn't give a shit. They thought they could pull on people's heartstrings, you know, for the midterms, and nobody gave a fuck. I mean, I've seen so much stuff on on social media where people are like advocating violence to be used on the border. Now, I'm not suggesting that far, but I think our border integrity must be defended at all costs. So, you know, I'll leave that to the experts to decide how best to use force. But all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, people are like, you know, put snipers there like Israel does, stuff like that. People's sympathies for this illegal alien shit is through the floorboards. So once again, the left is, they're so far removed from regular real people, they miss it again. It's just a whiff, nothing, strike again, another strike. Nobody gave a shit about the migrant. So they thought today, you know, maybe they try this. They send a little firecracker and a dildo with some electrical tape on it to CNN and Soros and the Clintons and the Obamas and what other, I gotta check here, what other leftist, you know, stellar people got them here. Let's see here. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Yeah, former, by the way. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Eric Holder, John Brennan. And this is a funny thing. If you look at pictures of the stupid package, like everything's misspelled. Brennan's name's misspelled. They have him working for the wrong agency. So obviously they figure us Trump supporters are just dumbasses who can't spell. And it was also, the return address was Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So, whatever fucking name is. Anyway, that crook down there, that should be locked up. So, yeah, you know, nothing in there about that little IT buddy of hers, though, that was, you know, locked in there and with his jihadi buddies getting info. None of that came up, strangely enough. But her name was on there as a return address and misspelled. So that shows you what they think of us MAGA people. We're just too fucking dumb to spell. They're the smart ones. But let's pretend for a minute that it's not a complete fucking charade, which it is. But let's pretend it's not. Let's pretend it's real. And just by some miracle, none of these bombs functioned, which is okay. Never really went to their intended targets, nothing like that, which I'm glad nobody was hurt. I don't want people hurt. That's the last thing I want. So, but let's pretend it's real, right? Let's pretend for a split second. This is make-believe land, okay? This is where the Dems live. Let's pretend. Let's pretend it was real and it's like a MAGA guy or some shit. Shouldn't they be fucking happy? They've been calling for a civil war for how long now? They want a violent overthrow of Trump. They want to attack Trump supporters. They want Maxine Waters and the rest of those scum out there telling everybody that, yeah, you've got to get in their face. You got to make a scene. You got to disrupt. You got to be the disruptors. You got what you wanted. You got exactly what you wanted. You wanted a civil war. You wanted fighting in the streets. You wanted to see people hurt. It's what you wanted. You got it. Be happy. But that's not what I see. I see a bunch of Dems on there. Oh, it's support us. Why? CNN and Trump's evil word. And guess what? Guess what happened with that? Guess what? Okay? This is them at bat. Whew. Swing and a miss. Again. No fucking sympathy for them. None. None on social media. None anywhere. Rather than the few conservatives that still want to act like, you know, well, you know, rhino types, you know. And of course, Trump can't just come out and call them out on their bullshit. You got to play the game. I understand that. But the bottom line is, you know, we'll let the investigation go forward. And if it's actually not a corrupt investigation, maybe they'll actually figure it out where the real suspect or suspects are. But I'm fairly certain they're not going to have anything to do with Trump or anything to do with reality. I have a feeling that these firecrackers were put out there to gain sympathy votes and also to cast Trump supporters as a bunch of violent nutcases. This is the last thing, this is their last ditch attempt to keep from getting their asses kicked in the midterms. Because they are going to fucking lose bad. Bad. You can forget all the bullshit polls. I mean, we all should have learned from 2016 not to fucking follow those polls because they're all bullshit. They're going to lose bad. And the reason I know for a fact they're going to lose bad is because of the way they're acting. The way they're acting shows it all. You know, they're trying these desperate little tactics, and it still doesn't work. That's what's funniest about the whole thing. But this is where it becomes not so funny. So the caravan didn't work, and the fake bomb hoax didn't work. That makes me scared to death what the fuck they'll try next. Maybe next time they try one of these stupid ass things, the device will actually work or something. That's what scares me. These people are so unhinged, and the ends completely justifies the means to them, which is a very dangerous philosophy to embrace, no matter who you are. And they're embracing it wholeheartedly. And you can always tell when, you know, like, again, I find it so funny that they're out there basically calling for violence, calling for virtually civil war. CNN has that Bernstein, that pile of crap from Watergate, who is well past his prime, who's only written one book, really, and rather than that, he's a complete fucking fraud. And he shows up on there all the time talking about civil war, civil war, civil war, civil war, civil war. Oh, Trump's not going to recognize the midterms. Oh, this fuck has been pushing for a civil war forever. You know, on CNN, and that's what CNN wants. They want people pushing this, trying to, like, get the boiling pot to be a little bit more violent. And, well, today they get the, you know, the fire alarm, and they have to evacuate on live TV and all that, and they get all these great, you know, shots of emergency responders and bomb squads and all that, and they look like the poor, pathetic little victims. Here's the problem. Nobody buys it anymore. Nobody. Except for the true believers on their side, which don't have any common sense or ability to reason or critically think on their own. Nobody buys it. Nobody. These people have wronged our country for so long. The sympathy filter is full. It's done. Alright? It's full. Nothing else is going through. Everybody's done with being sympathetic to the people who do nothing but tear down our country day in and day out and try to get rid of the democratically elected president that we elected. We as the American people. I don't know who's my president. Well, then fucking move. I had to deal with 8 years of fucking Obama's bullshit. He was still my fucking president. I didn't leave my fucking country. Why should I fucking go? Fuck that. But no, these idiots, you know, they run around with their crazy philosophy of Trump's a racist Nazi. This is what kills me. They call him Hitler and Nazis, and none of these dumbasses are even smart enough to understand what a Nazi or Hitler or any of that was. They don't know history. They don't know that Nazi stands for National Socialist German Workers' Party. Did you hear the socialist part in there? There's really not much of a difference between Nazis and communists, sorry. I know they hated each other and they did the best to wipe each other out, but really, they're birds of the same feather. Sorry to break it to you, lefties. So, you know, here's another thing. If you want to pretend like this wasn't some kind of an inside job, okay, which, like I said, I'm telling you, I don't buy any of this shit. I don't care what they say. I don't buy it. It is a Reichstag fire. It is an attack on a Polish radio or a German radio station to make it look like the You got to remember how dangerous false flags can be. Wars have started over them. Hitler purposely set up a fake attack on a radio station on the German-Polish border to make it look like the Poles did it so he could start World War II. 50 million people died. Okay? Tonkin Gulf resolution, you know, the Gulf of Tonkin incident, where they said they were shot at by North Vietnamese boats. Oh, well, turns out that shit didn't happen. But oh well, we got the war going anyway. 58,000 dead Americans later. Ah, fuck. False flag. I ain't falling for the bullshit anymore. I fell for it once with that fucking weapons of mass destruction garbage in Iraq and how necessary that was. I won't fall for that bullshit again. That one almost cost me my life. So, sorry, I'm not that gullible. So you're going to have to show me a hell of a lot more proof, and even then I probably won't believe you. Because you can't trust the media. You can't, especially CNN and the mainstream media. You'd have to be absolutely brain dead to take what they say with a grain of salt. And I throw Fox into that mix too, because they're just as corrupt as the rest as far as I could tell. They're just a little easier to keep down because you have people like Tucker that actually are semi-okay. But the bottom line is, this is, in my opinion, This is a giant fairy tale. These things were placed there. That's why you have the ISIS flag. That's why they don't look like real bombs. That's why they're taking photos of it when you should evacuate the fucking area when you find an unexploded ordnance of any kind. But no, they take pictures of it and make sure to get a nice shot of the ISIS flag and the misspelling so we can blame it on those dumb MAGA people. And then we'll start that hashtag MAGA bomber. Oh, that'll really cinch it. And guess what? Nobody fucking bought it. So, really makes me wonder, what will they do tomorrow? What do you think?